my great predecessors, women having speeches had before me, have been talking about women in technology. Thus, I will focus on technology. This is diversity. My name is Małgorzata Kasperska. I am Vice President of Schneider Electric, responsible for IT business within Middle East Europe cluster. We have seen a turnaround and acceleration in our economy. It becomes a true digital economy due to key developments in cloud, data, artificial intelligence, and so on. And obviously, it has changed our lives profoundly. For many around the world, access to energy is the basis of life. Without energy, life is very difficult. Similarly, for our young generation, access to digital is also base of the new age life. So power and digital together is the base of life, education, progress, and performance. Schneider Electric is leading the digital transformation of energy management and automation in homes, data centers, infrastructure, and industries. We provide the hardware, software, and services to help save energy and provide safe, reliable, sustainable, and green energy, thus making sure that life is on everywhere, for everybody, and at every moment. We also believe in diversity in the workplace. And there cannot be any diversity without inclusion. This is why attending such events like this one is so important for us, as we want to be the most diverse, inclusive, and equitable company in the world. Now about technology. This presentation is meant to explain the market trends, drivers of edge computing, various types of edge computing, and importance of availability of edge data centers. Internet use is trending towards bandwidth-intensive content, an increasing number of attached smart things. It is not just mobile phones only, TV sets, but also household appliances, security systems, cars, and so on. At the same time, mobile telecom networks and data networks are converging into a cloud computing architecture. To support the needs of today and tomorrow, computing power and storage is being inserted out on the network edge in order to lower data transport time and increase availability. Edge computing brings bandwidth-intensive content and latency-sensitive applications closer to the user or data source. Following 30 years or more of heavy investment into on-premise IT infrastructure, most of organizations now understand that IT may not be their core competency, and they are therefore taking this opportunity to outsource their IT computing needs to cloud providers. They are not just outsourcing labor to an IT integrator this time, as it was the norm over the past 20 years, but they are hiring truly established cloud providers offering a pay-per-use service at little or no capital expense. The burden of building, maintaining, upgrading, and operating the computer systems is the responsibility of the cloud provider now, giving the consuming organization ultimate flexibility and choice of providers without being locked into just one. This results in faster deployment of services at a lower cost. Then the consuming organization can focus on their core business, functions and customers, and not on its IT department. This is the paradigm shift that has taken over 30 years to achieve. Global data center traffic is firmly in zettabyte era and will more than triple to reach over 20 zettabytes annually by 2021. A rapidly growing segment of data center traffic is cloud traffic, and this will again more than triple over the forecast period. Anyhow, the growth of Internet of Things and critical applications are redefining IT availability and performance in the cloud and at the edge. The original centralized cloud data centers were designed for applications that were not really speed sensitive. Things like search or email do not need to be delivered instantly. Posting pictures, videos to your social network is not time critical. But certain applications can't deal with latency. Applications such as gaming, self-driving cars, or operating theaters. If you are in a self-driving car approaching a stop sign, you don't want the image recognition software running in the remote cloud somewhere in another country or even on another continent. Apart from latency, the costs of the bandwidth might also cause applications to move to the edge. And finally, there are more and more regulations preventing companies from storing personal data in a data center outside the country. So it is because of latency, bandwidth costs, and regulations that we won't see one giant centralized data center holding all the world's applications and data. Due to these new requirements, local edge deployment put the most critical data closer to the end user and connected things, and provide high-performance bridge to the cloud. Distance and speed become inhibitors. Closer is better. Taking processing and data collection closer to the users is critical to reducing latency and bandwidth costs. Thus, edge computing is, in general sense, processing of all the applications that don't take place in the centralized cloud. The prediction is that over 40% of data generated through Internet of Things will be processed by edge computing systems in a year or so, so very soon. The key conclusion at this point is that moving applications to the cloud makes edge sites mission critical as well. And this requires a different way of thinking about them. This is one ecosystem, and one cannot work without the other for plenty of the applications. This leads to three types of IT platforms, all of which are mission critical. There are also three types of edge computing. Local devices are sized to accommodate a defined and specified purpose. Running the security system in a building, or storing local video content on DVR, these are just examples. Deployment is immediate, and they are suitable for home or small office applications. Micro data centers provide significant processes and storage capabilities and are fast to deploy in existing environments. They are suitable for a broad base of applications requiring low latency and or high bandwidth and or added security or availability. And installations that have more than 10 racks and are located closer to the user and data source than centralized cloud, they are called regional data centers. Due to their scale, obviously, they will have more processing and storage capabilities than localized 1 to 10 rack data centers. Even large internet giants or large web companies are adopting nowadays edge computing. Microsoft states that a hyperscale cloud data center strategy is not enough for them. They are creating what they call cloudlets, which are in essence small 1 to 10 rack micro data centers all across their footprint. Dropbox, the cloud-based storage company, pulled out of Amazon public cloud and decided to go with their own private cloud. And Netflix, who used to host their movies from the same centralized data center, they are moving them to edge data centers close to their customers. If you have been inside a large centralized or regional data center, chances that these images look familiar to you are high. These are all best practices: security guards, monitoring, locked, organized racks. However, what you typically see when you walk into localized data centers is this. These practices are not only a risk to availability, but also cybersecurity. It is pretty easy to get into those rooms. It is pretty easy to hack data or even simply cause physical damage to equipment in such an environment. So seeing all of these trends appearing in the data center market, we as Schneider Electric saw a big opportunity to support the availability of these edge applications. Schneider has invested a lot of time and money in developing what we have defined. Key to this solution is that it's manufactured in a factory environment, shipped with shock packaging to an IT integrator, and then shipped out to the customer. Just two short case studies. A micro data center we called Smart Bunker for the Ministry of Health in one of the countries of South America. What was the customer challenge? The customer needed a simplified, secure, and standalone IT infrastructure. Internal auto-provisioning, billing platform, cost assignment to each department, SaaS deployment, centralized app management, and obviously OpEx reduction. What was the solution? 9 single racks, 1 per each hospital, fully equipped with air conditioning, long runtime power protection, environmental monitoring. Simple, secure, and cost-effective. Who might think that there is also an edge application in Sagrada Familia, Center of Tourism in Barcelona? What was the objective? The objective was to support the construction process as well as ticketing at the same time, to provide a data center in an active construction site. And what was the solution? All in one. 2 smart shelter modules, customized, upgradable, mobile solutions. If Sagrada Familia wants to change the construction site from left to right, we can turn around our solution without disrupting the construction works. It was edge in a pill. If you have any questions, I'm open to answer you after the formal part. Thank you.